All right, let's talk about money. Specifically, that nagging feeling you might get, that feeling that maybe you're falling behind. Today, we're going to flip that script. We're going to uncover the quiet, almost invisible signs that prove you're actually on the right path to building real, lasting wealth. Let's jump in. You know how it goes. You're just scrolling through your phone, and bam, there it is. The brand new car, the perfect vacation photo, the designer clothes. And that little voice in your head just whispers, "Am I doing enough?" Well, that feeling is super common. But what if the game you think you're losing isn't the real game at all? See, there are really two different money games being played out there. The first one is loud, it's flashy. It's all about looking rich. It's chasing status, getting applause, keeping up with the latest trends. But the second game, that's the one we're here to talk about. It's quiet. It's about getting rich. And the prize isn't a bunch of likes. It's freedom. It's having options. And it's this deep sense of calm. And that gets us to the biggest myth about wealth. We're all conditioned to think that wealth has to be loud, that it has to show off. But the truth is, real, sustainable financial success does the exact opposite. It doesn't need to scream for attention. It just whispers. I want you to really let this sink in. The most important, most powerful financial moves you will ever make are the ones that no one else will ever see. They're the quiet decisions, the habits you build, the progress that happens behind the scenes. And our job today is to shine a light on them. So let's dive into these 4 quiet wins. Think of this as your own personal scorecard. If you can check off even 1 or 2 of these, trust me, you are doing so much better than you probably think. Okay, first up, you have an emergency fund. Now, why is this such a huge deal? Well, get this. Recent studies show that about half of all Americans couldn't come up with $1,000 for an emergency. So if you've got even just a small pile of cash set aside for a rainy day, you're already genuinely ahead of the curve.
And you know, that fund is so much more than just money. It's a buffer. It's calm when the check engine light comes on. It's the time you need to find the right job after a layoff, not just the first one that comes along. It's the power to make decisions from a place of strength, not desperation. That, right there, is real wealth.
All right, the second quiet win is all about a habit. It's called paying yourself first, and it completely flips traditional budgeting on its head. Instead of trying to save whatever is left over at the end of the month, you do it first. The second your paycheck hits, a piece of it is automatically whisked away into your savings or investments. Then you pay your bills and live on what's left. It's a total game changer. I absolutely love this way of thinking about it. You're treating saving like it's rent. Rent you owe to your future self. It's not an optional expense. It's a bill that has to be paid. And by automating it, you make sure it gets paid on time, every single time, without you even having to think about it. The third sign is a big one. It's that you have consciously decided to step off the hamster wheel. You're not playing the status game anymore. You're not immediately upgrading your lifestyle every time you get a small pay bump. You're more interested in your long-term freedom than you are in what other people think of your car. You're playing the long game. And that space you create, the gap between what you earn and what you spend, that gap is everything. Seriously, it's not about feeling deprived. That gap is your freedom engine. Every single dollar you protect and put in that gap is another drop of fuel for your future, for your investments, and ultimately for your independence. And finally, the fourth and maybe the ultimate quiet win, your net worth is trending up. Now, it doesn't have to be a straight line to the moon. The market's going to wiggle and you'll have big expenses. That's life. But what matters is the overall trend. Is it, over time, heading in the right direction? That is the real scoreboard in this quiet money game. So, now that we know what the wins look like, let's do a quick gut check. Because it's just as important to spot the common traps that can completely sabotage your progress. Think of these as the little warning lights on your financial dashboard. So, ask yourself honestly, number 1, do you kind of dread looking at your bank account or credit card statements? Do you put it off? Number 2, do you find yourself having to borrow money, maybe from a credit card, just to get to the next paycheck? And number 3, do bills regularly catch you by surprise? Now, if any of these hit home, don't panic. It's not a moral failing. It's just a sign that it's time to pay a little closer attention. Look, whether you saw yourself in the wins or in the red flags, it doesn't really matter. The way forward is exactly the same for everyone. It starts with small, almost laughably simple actions that build momentum. You don't have to fix everything at once.
Your very first mission, should you choose to accept it, get $500 into a savings account. That's it. Just $500. That tiny cushion is powerful. It can absorb so many of life's little curveballs without sending you into a financial tailspin or into debt.
Next step, start that freedom engine. Set up an automatic transfer of just $25 a week. Just $25. Have it go into a simple, low-cost index fund. It's going to feel like nothing at first, but what you're really doing is hiring the most powerful force in the universe, compound interest, to work for you. That tiny habit will do more for you over 20 or 30 years than you can possibly imagine. And finally, the third step. Build the habit of just looking. Once a month. That's it. Grab a coffee, sit down for 15 minutes, and just look at your numbers. No judgment, no stress, just awareness. This one simple ritual puts you firmly back in the driver's seat of your financial life. Because when you start taking these small, quiet steps, you're not just moving numbers around in a bank account. You're building something much, much bigger. You are building towards the real prize. A future that's defined by freedom, not by obligations. And this journey, it unfolds in stages. Right now, you start small. You build the habits. But in 5 years, you'll start to feel it. You'll feel your investments actually working for you, generating money while you sleep. And then 10 or more years down the line, you hit this amazing point where work stops being something you have to do and starts being something you get to do. So, the next time you're scrolling and you see all the flash and the noise, just smile to yourself, because now you know the secret. While everyone else is busy playing the game of looking rich, you're playing a different game. You are quietly, consistently, and powerfully getting rich. And that is a win that needs absolutely no one's applause but your own.